Let's see if I can kill this player. So one of the things you'll notice about Strife as well is that our interface has lots of big, blocky, and very clear elements to make the game very easy to read. In addition, we have a customizable interface. So what you can see here is that when I hold down tab, we actually have interface elements pop out of the sides of the screen, and you can actually tab, click elements of the screen to stay open, so when you let go, those elements of the screen will not close. So this hero in the lane that I'm facing right here is a CC hero. This hero has a slow, aligned stun, has a wall that she can place that is impenetrable to enemies. And her ultimate is Bolt of Bedlam, and it's basically an extremely high single target damage nuke. I'm going to see if I can push this lane here. Maybe we can do some damage to their tower. So that was actually a pet ability that just triggered there. That player missed that last hit, and that pet actually got the last hit for the hero. Some other things that we did in the game is that with stats in the game, we wanted to make sure that players, not only were they not wanting to compete with each other because of the way we distribute resources in the game, but we also wanted to make sure that players aren't as aware of when players are doing poorly. So for example, if I can see all of my own stats in the game, however, I cannot see deaths for other players. And we did this because we realized that many players actually don't value that stat that much. However, they look at it constantly to look at who to flame in a game. And so we wanted to make sure that players can still learn from their mistakes. So at the end of the game, we actually still allow players to see the deaths. We also have replays, so you'll be able to learn from the game that way. So I actually died right here. And as you can see, the screen kind of grays out a little bit. I get a dark border. And the reason we did this is we wanted to make sure that it was very clear when a player died. But one of the awesome other really cool things that we've done in this game is we actually have a dynamic music system. And the dynamic music system actually changes as different things happen in the game. So when I was dead, I was actually hearing different music than if I'm, for example, when I'm in a team fight or when I'm farming, etc. I have a couple skill points I need to spend. So one of the other things that we did in Strife is we actually wanted to change the boss mechanic to make it to where it was incentivized aggression a lot more and really discourage passive play. So what we did is the bottom boss in the game actually will cause you to free Krytos, a great white ape, after you kill the main boss. And he comes running down the lane and he instantly stomps creeps, as well as when he attacks towers, he actually disables them. And that really gives the pushing team a major advantage and really discourages that passive play that you see in a lot of competitive games. Another thing that we wanted to do in Strife is that we decided to make the hero roles less fixed. So we didn't want players to feel like they have to have one tank, one support, one initiator, etc. And so the way we did this is we made roles a lot more defined by our item system. And the advantage of this is that players can then adjust their builds on the fly, as well as it allows them to play the way they want. So one of the other things that we added in the game is we added a system we like to call crafting, and it allows players to design their own items. So because we have a smaller hero pool to make it easier to learn the game, and a lower item pool to make the item system less daunting, we wanted to make sure that our hero pool had a lot more, and item pool had a lot more diversity. And because of crafting, heroes have a lot more items available to them with a smaller hero pool, and heroes also have a lot more playstyles available to them. Oh, I'm talking and I'm dying. I apologize. Something else we wanted to do in the game is we wanted to make sure that players that are doing very well know when they're doing really well. So we added something called MVP, and MVP is essentially the player that has the highest GPM. So another interesting thing that we did is even with hero kills, we've decided to change the way hero kills work, so that regardless of whether or not you get a last hit, all the players involved get credit for the kill. This means that players aren't going to fight over getting the last hit on heroes, and you don't feel like one player has to, grant all of his potential kills to his teammates.